Welcome to Honey's Kitchen. Today we're making Hoppin soup. This soup can be made super simple. I'm actually choosing to use some canned goods and some frozen vegetables, but you can use all canned goods and throw everything in a stock pot and simmer. The longer you simmer, the better it'll taste. I'm going to start out with some Conecuh sausage with my big stock pot. I'm just going to brown it up pretty good. I'm going to take it out and drain it, and then I've got some veggies that's going to go in. My sausage diced up. I'm going to put in here and brown. My sausage is done. I'm going to take it out of this pot. I've got a bowl that has some paper towels in it just so it can kind of drain a little bit. I've pulled all my sausage out and set it over in a bowl to drain, but I want to show you guys the bits that is left in my bowl, or sorry, my pan. So we are going to put some veggies in there and saute, and it's going to soak up all those flavors from the Conecuh. I've got my oil still, or the grease that came off of my Conecuh sausage, and I'm going in with some diced carrots, onions, and celery. So my veggies has been cooking for a few minutes, and I'm going to peek in and let you guys see the pot now. So see how we had all those brown bits in the bottom? And if you can see that now. And now the bottom's all clean. That's because our veggies has soaked up all of that seasoning. I'm going to put my lid on it and let it continue to simmer. Just until these are kind of tender. I'm going to make a hole in the center of my pot, kind of spread my veggies out to the side, and then I've got some minced garlic. I'm going to put that in the center. You don't want to put garlic in too soon because it will burn. So I'm just going to kind of brown this up until you can start smelling the garlic, and then I'm going to mix it together. The garlic is smelling really yummy. Stir all this together, and then I'm going to add some liquid. So I like the Kettle and Fire bone broth. So I've got the beef, and I thought I had more than one, but turns out I didn't. So I'm going to add this beef broth, but also some chicken broth because that's what I have, and I don't want to go to the store. So just some chicken broth too. You can add whatever broth you want for the base of this. We may add some more later, but we're going to start out with this. Now I'm going to start adding my other cans of veggies. So I like to buy the seasoned Southern style Blackeyed Peas. They already have some seasoning in them. They're just really yummy. I'm going to start out with 4 cans. Then we'll kind of stir it together and see what it looks like. I did not drain these either. And then some fire roasted diced tomatoes. You don't have to do fire roasted. This is just what I had. And then I had regular diced tomatoes. Now I'm going to add some chopped collard greens. You can add whatever greens you want. Some people use turnips. Some people use collards. I actually like the collards better. We're just gonna stir these in. You can use cans if you would like. You don't have to use frozen ones. I actually have time to let this simmer and cook a little bit longer, so that's why I'm using the frozen ones. But Margaret Holmes, I don't know where you guys live, but Margaret Holmes is a really good brand that I like to buy because that particular brand has like seasonings already added to it, and it's really good. But like I said, I have time for this to sit and simmer, so I'm gonna I use the frozen ones. Might add a little bit more liquid a little later, but right now I'm just gonna put my lid on it and bring it to a slow simmer.
My mic battery died and I didn't know, but I've got 1 packet of beefy onion soup mix. I'm going to stir this in and then add some water. And then I actually end up adding another package of the beefy onion soup mix. I'm making a large pot, so if you're making a smaller version of this, you may only have to use 1 package.
I've moved my soup on the back burner over here because I want some rice. I'm going to cook some rice too. Take a look at our soup now. Looks good. I'm going to add a little salt and pepper and then add our sausage back in. Don't need a ton of salt because I've got those 2 packages of the Lipton onion soup mix, and those tend to be pretty salty. And because I've used the seasoned black-eyed peas, that actually has some seasoning in it as well. Can y'all see this? Just gonna heat these back up. I'm gonna start my rice, and then I'm gonna make some cornbread too. I like my Hoppin soup over rice. Give this a good stir. Smells so good. So I've got some water over here that I got boiling. I've already got a little bit of butter in there, and then I'm gonna add some bouillon cubes just because I like my water, or like anytime I cook rice, I want to have my water seasoned really good so it soaks up that flavor and it's not just bland rice. Add a little bit more salt here. And then I've got my rice, putting it in. I'm gonna let this boil and then I'm gonna cover it and simmer. And I'm gonna start working on my cornbread. Everything's done. So I'm gonna start out with putting some rice in the bottom of my bowl. Just a little bit. And then let's dip in here and get some of our good soup. Want some juice. So hot, I'm not taking the chance of tasting this now. We're gonna let it sit and cool for a few minutes. This is still so hot, but I've got my cornbread and my rice in here also. So I'm gonna get a little bit of a bite. Maybe it won't burn. This is one of those meals that even tastes better tomorrow. After you let it sit in the fridge and all the flavors kind of mold together. So good. So who's stopping by to taste and clean up?
Thanks for stopping by Honey's Kitchen.